where the death sentences of the 8 former Indian naval officers have now been commuted by a court of appeal in Qatar. The sentences have now been reduced in the Dahra Global Case. The detailed judgment at this moment is still not out in the public domain. New Delhi, however, has said that the Indian government, is in contact with the legal team of the ex-Navy officers and also with the family members of the 8 Indian sailors. Now, the government has said that it will continue to extend all legal and consular assistance to the sailors in question. The government had received consular access to all 8 men on death row in the Gulf state of Qatar in October. Remember, a Qatari court had sentenced the Indian citizens to death on charges of espionage. India had called the death sentence as deeply shocking. The Qatari authorities had accepted the appeal that was filed by the Indian government earlier in the month of November. Now, there is also hope that the ex-Indian Navy personnel can actually serve their sentences not in Qatar but in India. New Delhi and Doha had approved a treaty on transfer of sentenced persons in 2014. The signing of the treaty shall facilitate Indian prisoners who are imprisoned in Qatar or vice versa to be near their family members for serving the remaining part of their sentence and shall facilitate their social rehabilitation. And our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Zibil has sent us this report. Listen in.
Big relief, a sigh of relief for these ex-Indian Navy personnel in Qatari custody. Now we know that on 26th of October, Qatari court had announced the death sentence, and today it has been overturned. It has become a prison sentence, and essentially what went into it was, of course, a lot of legal aid, which was, of course, supported by India's Ministry of External Affairs, a lot of diplomatic push. We know that the Indian ambassador was able to meet with these Indians, but before that, we know that the big meeting, it was an informal meeting between the Prime Minister of India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the Qatar's Amir on 1st of this month. So a lot of positive developments have been happening before this sigh of relief came, but essentially 2 things are expected to happen. What next essentially is that whether the treaty of sentence can be kicked off. That means that these Indians can fill their entire sentence here in India according to the provisions of the treaty, or there's a pardoning by the Qatari Amir. That usually happens around 18th of December. That's Qatar's National Day, or around the period of Ramzan.
And we were earlier joined by Mr. Suresh K. Goel, who is a former Indian diplomat from New Delhi, and this is what he had to say.
I'm sure that, in fact, I'm quite confident that that meeting was very useful in changing or basically softening the mind of the leadership in Qatar and try and see if the death sentence could be commuted. I'm also told by my friends in Qatar that normally, given the importance of the relationship between India and Qatar, and also given the fact that Prime Minister took it directly with the Qatar Sheikh, it was very, very likely that this commutation would have been done, but it had to be confirmed in a court of appeal. And therefore, having taken it up with the Sheikh and our ambassador in Qatar, having followed it up so diligently with the bureaucracy and with the courts, finally to have the declaration, have the verdict of commuting is quite an achievement. And yes, I think we can rejoice in the fact that it has been announced.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.